My name is Ed Scavarch. I'm with the University of Florida, St. Lucie County Cooperative Extension, and welcome to Extension Happenings. Today, I'm pleased to have Tom Kindred, who's the director of the Small Business Development Center, SBDC, on the main campus of Indian River State College. Tom, welcome.
Thank you, Ed. Great opportunity for us to talk about the Small Business Development Center, and I appreciate this opportunity.
Well, it's my pleasure. So let's start off by you just giving us a general idea of what SBDC does, how long it's been in the community for, and
the SBDC, as you know, we love our acronyms in academia, but the SBDC is the Small Business Development Center, and we are hosted at Indian River State College. The Small Business Development Center is really responsible for providing credentialed consulting to local businesses, mentoring, coaching, to help those folks develop strategies, to help those businesses grow and accelerate. We're very fortunate at Indian River State College. Dr. Ed Massey, our president, really understands economic development, is engaged in economic development and entrepreneurship, and really understands the power and use of the SBDC, and because of that has allowed us to be hosted in the Brown Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship on the main campus of Indian River State College.
Well, it's a beautiful, beautiful building. Been in it a number of times, and Tom, probably 15 years ago or so, I was in business. I owned a landscape and nursery business, and those sorts of opportunities weren't available to the local business owner. Right. So when did SBDC come in and start these programs? And
the SBDC's at IRSC has been around for a while. We've been in the region for a number of years, but I, just like you, Ed, spent 20 years in private enterprise out along the Treasure Coast, and I tell folks all the time, it's easy for me to talk about this program because I understand and can empathize with the local business community. I did not know about these resources either, and I tell folks all the time that had I understood the SBDC, had I taken the time to become engaged and participate in what I call very powerful business assistance programs at Indian River State College, I'm confident I could have been a better manager, owner, and operator. So Dr. Massey and the Board of Trustees at Indian River State College have done an incredible job of building what I always like to call a very powerful one-stop shop for business assistance, and that is the SBDC at IRSC.
And there's some pretty powerful data out there. It says, business owners within the first 5 years, there's probably better than a 50% drop-off in those businesses. So getting from year 1 to year 5 can be very difficult. The business owner might know something about what they want to do. They might be good in landscaping. They might be a good painter. They might be good in air conditioning, but they don't know business.
That's right.
So that's where you folks come in.
Absolutely. Excellent point, Ed. Again, for a new startup, what we really refer to as those startups or those entrepreneurs, that's a very difficult space. The failure rate is very high for new startups. So we have a little slogan about our program at Indian River State College, and we say we're engaged at every stage of enterprise. So like you're talking, no matter whether you're an individual with just an idea and you're thinking about starting a business, or whether you've been in business for 20 years, we have resources and training tools and assets and strategies to help any stage of enterprise. And you're absolutely right. A lot of times folks think of just entrepreneurship as those just starting the business. But SBDC is very much engaged in those businesses that we call small to medium-sized enterprise, SMEs, that are already out there existing. And that's really where we can have the biggest and greatest impact is to help a business that's already functioning, already generating revenue, really help that business develop some strategies to accelerate and grow their business.
Yeah, and that's important when you stop to think about the number of small businesses that are in our community, and if they remain successful, the number of jobs that they can create from within their small business. That's a lot of jobs. Probably what, 80% of all jobs are generated by small businesses?
Oh, absolutely. A large portion of even on a national economic level, majority of the businesses, majority of the jobs in this country are created and provided by existing small businesses, those with less than and fewer than 500 employees. So that's really where all the jobs are. And again, we really see that helping that already established business, that's really a great opportunity for us to create some jobs. Last year, just as a statistic, we provided our local SBDC at IRSC, we provided over 5,300 hours of consulting to about 340 local businesses, and we help those businesses either retain or create over 240 jobs. So, really, that's where the sweet spot is for the SBDC, really helping that existing business.
Well, that's great. Years back, maybe about 2 or 3 years back, I was talking to a local nursery owner, and one of the things that he had mentioned to me was that, Ed, I don't have repeat business, and we need to be able to provide some business programming to the small landscapers and installers so that his business could continue on and have a steady flow of clientele.
Right.
So it trickles down. And this is when I first started going over to the SBDC and getting involved with some of your colleagues. We've worked in the industry together for a long time.
Right.
So what your work does helps other industry as much as the person that you're training.
Absolutely. And Ed, I like you mentioned, you and I go way back, in this community. You and I worked together well over, 20 years ago and on some projects. And I do credit you for teaching me and the need for that training. You began a training program for ag, the ag industry, which we participated in a number of years ago. So I really learned a lot of that from you and what you had done early on. But you're right. And so what the SBDC does is we have multiple tools, multiple strategies that we bring to the table for the business community. We have that one-on-one consulting. And all the consulting that we do with the business is, number one, is confidential. What we discuss about your business is strictly between you and the consultant. We also offer training seminars, workshops. We've probably facilitated well over 200 workshops within the 4-county area. How to start a business, how to write a business plan, how to improve your cash flow, franchising. So all types of different topics that we've offered. So we do offer multiple strategies and assets and tools to help a local business. We've got access to some high-level databases where we can drill down into different and specific industries, talk about financial ratios. How are you doing as a landscaper, for instance? How are you doing against the landscape industry and the average financial ratios? So we've also got specialists within the ranks of the SBDC. We have a business continuity specialist that can help you create a plan that will allow you to make it through a hurricane or some sort of catastrophe that may occur at your business. We've got an export marketing specialist that will help you develop an export marketing plan and market and sell your products on a global market. We have growth accelerator specialists that will help a business, again, grow and accelerate from their current position. We've got a government contracting expert that can help a business weave their way through government contracting. So it's just such a powerful program. When I became associated with the SBDC and was fortunate enough to become associated, I just really made it my mission to make sure that our business community around the Treasury Research Coast really understand what's available at Indian River State College in terms of business assistance, and make sure that everyone that wants to has the ability to take advantage of these programs.
And that was an excellent explanation. And for me, the reason I wanted to come and join with the SBDC is that for years we've been teaching landscapers just horticultural practices. We'll teach them how to proper irrigation and proper mowing and planting and work with nursery folks. But, we never taught them how to stay in business. And I said, well, I got to thinking that, well, if we keep them in business, then they're going to be coming back and continuing their education at different levels in what I teach. So I just saw it as a natural fit to our industry.
Right.
And oftentimes, you know, Tom, we work in silos.
Right.
you
Yes.
know? And so this, to me, was an excellent opportunity for me to kind of get out of mine and come over and work with you.
Right.
And so the relationship has been really good so far. Now, your export contract writer, Emily, I believe her
Emily
name is.
McHugh, yes.
Right, yeah. So she may be getting a little bit busy here
Yeah.
with what's happening in Cuba if they open up their doors to some of the agriculture that could potentially come out of St. Lucie County.
Yeah, absolutely. And I had just the opportunity yesterday to be part of a presentation that Emily made to one of her manufacturing clients down in Martin County, where she presented one of her export marketing plans. And we partner with the Department of Economic Opportunity and Enterprise Florida to produce those plans for regional manufacturing operations. Incredible plan, incredible resource. All, you know, there's scholarships available and funding available to help offset the cost of the development of those plans. So she's really done a great job, and a number of businesses have truly benefited from what she does in the area of export marketing. And I will tell you, Ed, you make a great point about, you know, teaching the businesses the technical side of their business and not talking about the business side. You know, there's an old saying that I had to learn once I got to Indian River State College. I learned this, unfortunately, a little late, but there are those that work in the business and there are those that work on the business.
Yep.
And so often, you know, small business owners tend to spend a lot of time and hours in their day working in the business. And we've got to really teach these business owners that they've got to spend an equal amount of time working on the business, really drilling down into the financials, understanding, you know, where the revenue is coming from, where the profits generated from, margins and expense control. And that's a big part of running that business. So those are all the kind of strategies and expertise that we can bring to the table for a small business person.
Yeah, but I don't have time to do that, Tom. You know, I've got a radiator to repair, or I've got some
That's right.
landscape that I need to redesign,
That's right.
or I've got a house to paint, or whatever,
Right.
whatever. So that whole concept comes out of a book, The E-Myth by Michael Gerber,
Right.
and that's exactly what he said. Are you going to work in your business or on your business?
Right.
So that's a really important concept for small business owners to get across to them. I know years ago when I was studying business and in my own business, that concept became really important in how I did things.
Yeah.
So you also mentioned that you have a division out there that helps with innovation of new projects, new products.
The SBDC is part of really a broader program at Indian River State College, very innovative program, again, you know, brought to us because of the vision of our president, Dr. Massey, and the Board of Trustees, but it's called the Entrepreneurship Development Institute, the Dan K. Richardson Entrepreneurship Development Institute. We call it the EDI. And basically under that EDI umbrella are some other tools and resources. We've got a textbook business incubation program that can help an individual with that idea build that step-by-step process to launch that business. We also have an organization called the CCTI, the Corporate and Community Training Institute, which really provides high-level business training. It's available as open enrollment. Everyone can come, or they actually can develop customized training for businesses to bring that training out to a business, to the employees, in that business. So it's really, again, a very powerful program, really all led by this SBDC at IRSC.
I think innovation is key. We've farmed in St. Lucie County for years, and I think that the next generation of farmer wants to be able to have those sorts of innovations to work with. So innovation is, in my mind, key for the next 20 years of how we're going to grow food, how we're going to grow citrus, how we're going to do our landscaping, how we're going to grow plants in the nursery. how is the innovation going to be in other areas, in retail and wholesale. I mean, today you go online and order something and it's done. My wife, who a year ago would not go to the internet to order something, had this big smile on her face the other day because she ordered gifts for my son-in-law and my son's girlfriend. So that's innovation. And so how do you see innovation working into a business? How can you get someone to go from this, well, I've been doing it like this all my life type of mentality to that entrepreneurial and innovative type of
Well,
thought?
as you well know, and again, you make a great point, great question. One of our standout consultants at the SBDC, Spike Schulteis.
You know Spike? Yeah.
You know Spike. Spike recently authored a article that appeared in the Progress and Innovation publication called "Innovation is Also Necessary in Agriculture." So, I spent many years in the agricultural support industry, and we always think of agriculture and farming kind of being old school, but innovation is important in every industry. You're either changing or updating, or you're getting behind. And that's what we have to tell folks all the time. You've got to stay up to the times with innovation. Social media, just like you're talking about, use of the internet. Those are very popular courses for us through the CCTI program at the college. Trying to keep people, up to date with the latest in technology. But you're absolutely right. You've got to innovate in every business. You've got to stay current with what's going on. You can't allow yourself to fall into that old, we've done it this way forever. Because the market's changing, and you've got to be able to respond to the market. And that's what's so nice about the SBDC is you've got a group of individuals who are ready and willing to come and meet with you and talk about your business, talk about what's going on in the industry, bring current industry information to you, and talk about how to innovate your business.
Well, you've also been teaching some entrepreneurial programming to our younger students in high school and sophomore, junior, senior, based on a program called Who Owns the Ice House.
Correct.
And I read the book recently. Had a chance to read it. Very good, very informative. And so let's talk about the importance of gaining that entrepreneurial mindset at an early age, and how you can work that in to how you grow up, how you think.
Right. You're absolutely right, and I think you said the word entrepreneurial mindset, and the book is called Who Owns the Ice House? 8 Life Lessons for what we call the Unlikely Entrepreneur. So what we're trying to do is we're trying to deal with what we call the myths of entrepreneurship, and those myths are that I need a lot of money to be an entrepreneur. I've got to get a big venture capitalist to give me millions of dollars. I have to have the next great idea, the next great big idea. So we try to deal with some of those myths in terms of, entrepreneurship is a person with a pickup truck doing landscaping work. That's entrepreneurship. That's starting a business. So really the concept is to try to dispel the myths of entrepreneurship, teach young people that entrepreneurial skills are necessary across all fields and across all industries. Those students that have an entrepreneurial mindset and have entrepreneurship skills are really valuable in the marketplace. People today in business want people that kind of think outside the box, aren't doing things the same old way, looking for new opportunities, looking for opportunities to expand the business and expand the market. So you're absolutely right. We've taken this very innovative entrepreneurship curriculum, funded by the Kauffman Foundation and the Entrepreneurship Learning Institute, and we've taken that curriculum out into the community and taught some classes through the Ice House program, as we call it, and tried to really reach down into our youngest minds in the community and give them those building blocks of entrepreneurship and try to build some of that entrepreneurial mindset.
Well, and that's important. As you see, industry today has moved out of the United States. Industry is in Europe or in Mexico, and with industry leaves, so do jobs. And industry is also becoming lean and mean, so there's less jobs. So that that entrepreneurial mindset of, you might have to do something. You're going to have to go into business for yourself.
Right.
You're going to have to be self-supportive. You have a family, and the opportunity to work in large industry just might not be there. So that makes this whole mindset really important also.
Yeah. You're again, you've hit on a great point, Ed, that there's certainly, as we saw over the last really, certainly 5 to 6 years, decade, it's been a tough economy out there. And for a lot of folks, when jobs were scarce, they had to kind of look to themselves, as you say, and create that job, create that business. And so that's really what building that entrepreneurial mindset and giving people entrepreneurial skills is all about. Allowing those folks to be, not so dependent upon someone else, but look to yourself because you have control over yourself. One of the greatest lessons I love talking about in the Ice House program is that you have the power of choice. I mean, you can choose. You can choose what to do with your time. You can choose what to do after school. You can choose what to do with your Saturdays and Sundays. So there's a lot of power in that, and that's what we try to teach the students, is that they have the power to choose and make some decisions on their own and control what happens with their future.
That's a valuable lesson to learn, is the ability to choose your destiny, because again, Tom, today you make a bad choice, one bad choice, and it can affect you for years and years and years to come. And it might not be a complicated or really bad choice. It might be something very simple, but still that affects you. So, when I was reading those 8 life lessons, I looked at that and I said, well, okay. Yeah, I made some choices, and
I made some too, Ed. I made some choices, but you're so right, and it really very innovative program, great program. I'm glad you got a chance to read the book, and I feel very strongly about that program. And we've taken it out and done some outreach with the program, and we'll continue to do outreach. And again, got a lot of great support again from Dr. Massey and even some support from our local representative Larry Lee. Helped us with that program. So incredible program, and we're still fostering that program and trying to continue to get that out there.
Well, I'm excited. I, as a part-time little business, my wife and I grow lettuce in our backyard. We have a little urban farm, and we give most of it away. Some of it we'll sell, but the point is that it would be a really good opportunity for us and you folks to work together to teach those sort of skills, and then the entrepreneurial type of mindset that could go beyond that. And maybe it's not going to be that these students are going to farm. They might not do urban farming, but they might want to open a small engines, or they might want to do something through the internet. But all of that is available through your school.
Ed, I think to sum it up, and you've been in business, I've been in business. I tell folks all the time, I got to see the good, the bad, and the ugly of small business. I saw it all. And I just feel so strongly about the programs that Dr. Massey and Indian River State College have built to support local business. And it's just every business needs to take the time to take advantage of these programs. They are meaningful, they are valuable, they are real resources that can help you better your business, grow your business, improve your results in your business. And again, the majority of these programs are provided at no cost.
I was going to ask you that. So what are the costs of that? So you throw out that that 4-letter word free, and that should just...
there is no cost to engage the SBDC. There's never any cost to engage a consultant at the SBDC. All the consulting work they do is provided free to the local business community. The majority of the workshops and seminars that are sponsored by the SBA, the SCORE, we have a great partnership with the local chapter of SCORE. They teach all of our courses for us, all the workshops. So, all of those services are provided at no cost.
Yeah, well, when I started getting into this, opportunity to be able to provide business programming, It was mostly for our landscapers and nursery owners, small farms owners. I went through the entire SCORE program. I just signed up, didn't tell them who I was. I just signed it up, and it was excellent. And there's a lot of good information, not only in the classes, but I'm still getting excellent information from them on programs, whatever it is, marketing your business or developing a business plan. And
that's
so
right.
Let's in the last few minutes, let's talk about the importance of just developing a small business plan to get you going, so that you have that underneath you and have it as a kind of a roadmap, because that's how I explain it. It's like a roadmap. Like you're going to take a trip, you got a map, you have a card. How are you going to get there? What are you going to do?
You know, business plans are always, it's always the first thing we always talk about. And so often people say, why do I need a business plan? Why do I need a business plan? And again, I can speak from great experience that the business plan is important, because you have to understand, you have to be able to answer a couple of basic questions about who you are. Who am I as a business? What am I selling? What is my product? Who am I selling that product to? And how do I make money doing this? And you really have to understand and really be well versed in those basic questions in your business. And a business plan is not something that you write once. It is something that you constantly revisit.
It's ongoing.
The market changes, and it did on me a number of times in my 20-year career, 25-year career in private enterprise. The market changed here, and we had to go back and reinvent ourselves. The product we've been selling for the last 5 years didn't have a customer for anymore. So business plans are critical. They're not the novel that they used to be. There are lean business plans now, lean startup concepts, but everyone needs a plan. And the place to start that plan is at the SBDC.
Yeah, that's important. I know when I was in business and I started out, I had a plan, and it was going to be landscape maintenance. Well, 2-3 years later, my customers are asking me, well, can you start to take this out and install this? My plan's changing. So now what I needed to do is I needed to go out and say, okay, so where am I going to have the capital to support a project if I have to go in and spend $2,000 or $3,000, whatever it was, to buy these plants? So my plan changed. And then, it was, can you do irrigation?
Right.
My plans changed.
That's right.
Can you do pest control? Well, and this is something that, like you said, you don't plan for when you start out, but it's something that you always have to be really, really aware of.
Right.
Well, in the closing moments, Tom, if you could provide us with a way that we can get a hold of the SBDC and who to talk to. And
it's easy. Our website is www.irscbiz.com. That's irscbiz.com. And I promise you, if you go to that website and click on that events calendar, you will be shocked and impressed with all the offerings. But that's the quickest way to get us, or contact the college. We're 462-7631.
Thank you. And again, hopefully we'll be able to sit down and talk about this. I know that you and I talk a lot on a regular basis. You have me doing radio. I know you have TV. I don't know if we're going to call this the Ed and Tom Show or the Tom and Ed Show. We'll argue about that. But Tom, thank you very much.
Thank you for the opportunity.
My pleasure.